feminism has extremists. They are a minority with no proof to the contrary. They hold no power. They have never taken away the rights of men. In comparison to other extremist groups, they have caused very little physical harm, and no deaths. The same cannot be said of anti-feminists. The extremism comes in the form of a few radical books written in the 70s, some powerless oversensitive tweens posting on Tumblr, and an attempted murder of Andy Warhol. It can't be seen being preached today by any notable or respected feminist figure. So with very little modern extremism to point to, where does the manosphere proclaim extremism? It mainly points to two women, Anita Sarkeesian and Shanti Binks. The poster children of feminist extremism that you are being told to hate. But are they extremists? What are their crimes? What have they actually done to warrant this abuse and demonization? Surely they must have done something so horrid if you are to believe they are the biggest threat to your male rights. Anita never promoted violence. Never asked for any game to be banned. Never said anything man-hating. Her crime is daring to criticize women's portrayal in video games, which in no sense of the word is extremist. The only thing extremist is the vitriolic and rabid-mouthed reaction to her for freely expressing her opinion on video game representation. Shanti never promoted violence against men. Never asked for anything to be banned. Never said anything man-hating. She's actually on record saying she wants men to have custody rights, which is conveniently ignored. She just shouted over someone. The manosphere proclaims she sank Crimea River to someone citing a male's suicide. However, the actual video shows she started singing the song before that was even mentioned. It was sang to demonstrate how MRAs only want to talk about men's issues and expect us to listen without offering the same courtesy. If they wouldn't listen to her, why should she listen to them? So again, zero evidence of extremism, but yet she is for some reason deserving of an entire online community demonizing, slandering and harassing her. They are being demonized by a hateful movement that has such a void of evidence that it has to resort to animating these women saying the things they are telling you they say. The manosphere movement has also stooped to lows such as making fake Twitter accounts of feminists to create the evidence they desire. You would think if feminists were also evil and extremist as is claimed, it wouldn't be hard finding evidence of any of the notable figures that are actually trying to bring about harm to men. They are a movement searching for hateful women in order to justify, excuse and release their misogyny, using the same selective bias of Islamophobes that paint ISIS as representative of Islam, whilst omitting their Muslim victims and the Muslims fighting against them. The majority of the manosphere isn't against only the extremists, any feminist will do. Radical feminism, the small amount that exists, is just represented and generalized as feminism. They'll occasionally use quantifiers such as some, but recognizing nuances is counterintuitive when you're trying to demonize a group. Their favorite type of feminist would be the straw feminist. A perfect example of this is the sheer amount of YouTube video titles that generalize all feminists as having a position with zero proof. It's no different than promoting offensive misrepresentations like Muslims, terrorism is good. This cheap tactic shows a common lack of intellectual integrity that should bring up red flags for any free thinker. In the history of human rights, vilifying and misrepresenting the oppressed is not a new tactic. Gay people are trying to destroy the family, look at these gay radicals. Black people want racial superiority and special treatment, look at the Black Panther Party. Feminists have been called man-hating since asking for the basic right to vote. The feminist agenda is not about equal rights for women. It is about a socialist, anti-family political movement that encourages women to leave their husbands, kill their children, practice witchcraft, destroy capitalism, and become lesbians. Pat Robertson, the 23rd of August 1992. This rhetoric is nothing new, and looking at the individuals that perpetrate it is rather telling, as it's usually those with a traditionalist agenda. Rebranding this stance as something that's new, alternative and stemming out of victimhood is the biggest joke of all.